Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. We're heading down the home stretch of Hell's Kitchen because in a few moments, I'll be sharing my thoughts and feelings on episode 11 of Hell's Kitchen Battle of the Ages. And for this review, my plan is just to talk about the episode, I'll give my overall rating, and I'll share my predictions going forward. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The episode kicks off with the chefs returning from last week's elimination and Brett meeting up with Alex to talk about his lackluster performance during last episode's dinner service. Brett is sitting there feeling sorry for himself, while the other chefs pretty much know that Brett is operating on borrowed time. The very next day, all the chefs meet Gordon for a little bit of a taste test. Unbeknownst to the chefs, Gordon is serving them frozen pre-made food, and when the chefs are eating it, they're a little too hesitant to tell Gordon that the food is beneath their fine dining standards. But this scene is a big lead up to the infamous annual Blind Taste Challenge. If this is your first time watching Hell's Kitchen, then just know that chefs from each team take turns participating in the blind taste testing of common ingredients, and if chefs get 2 or more ingredients wrong, then their teammates get covered in various foods. Now, I consider this challenge to be a gimmick challenge, and I'm sure some people out there find it entertaining and silly. But when it's all said and done, the red team gets more points than the blue team, and they're rewarded with horseback riding. With this being the blue team's 5th loss in a row, they are punished with having to make macaroons. Now, during my last review, I expressed that I wasn't happy with Brett returning to the blue team because the blue team was on a bit of a losing streak and Brett was a liability. The ironic thing is that Brett got 1 of the 3 answers right for his team, but I think that the teams should have definitely been mixed up a little better just so these challenges wouldn't have been so one-sided. Now, I will say that I like dinner service for this episode. In the dinner service challenge, the teams were responsible for serving 2 12-top tables. Each chef on their respective team were responsible for leading their teammates to cook 1 of 4 dishes. The catch is with the challenge is that all 24 dishes needed to be served at once, which required coordination between the blue and red teams. And as expected, when it came time for Brett to lead his team, he fumbled the ball early on and he made some costly mistakes. Now, as much as I want to say that I'm surprised that Summer was considered the best leader on the red team, I'm not. I said it several weeks ago that ever since Summer was nominated for elimination, she had some pep in her step and she would get her black jacket. Now, I was a little shocked that Sakari was considered the best leader on the blue team. It didn't hurt that he also had the easiest dish out of his teammates, but I feel that Alex having the tougher round with no mistakes for his dishes, he should have been considered the better leader. Gordon then tasked Summer and Sakari with picking 2 members from their team for elimination. I found it interesting that Cheyenne and Daphne were trying to appeal to their alliance with Summer as a reason why they shouldn't be up for elimination. If I remember correctly, when Summer was last up for elimination, those 2 were pretty eager to throw her under the bus and get her off the team. I also found it interesting seeing Sakari giving his teammates feedback on their performances for dinner. Sakari definitely had a point in calling Alejandro out, but Alex wasn't trying to hear any of it, and Alex is probably telling himself that if all he had to do was lead his team to stuff scrambled eggs into an eggshell, he could have probably did it while blindfolded. But it's time for elimination, and as many folks predicted, Brett finally got the axe. I was completely on board with this elimination, and it's pretty obvious that after this service, Tara and to some extent Alejandro are working on borrowed time. But overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this episode a 6. I thought the dinner service challenge was great in showing which chefs had the skills to lead their team and which didn't. As the black jacket round is right around the corner, the leadership skills will separate the kids from the adults. But when it comes to my predictions, I believe that either Tara or Daphne will miss out on getting a black jacket. I no longer have faith that Alejandro will be in the finale because he's simply too inconsistent at this point. I also think that this episode was a setup for the preview for the finale, which will feature Summer and Alex. But that's just my opinion, and I would definitely like to hear from all of you on this. What are some of your predictions going forward for the season? Feel free to leave your comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.